Hello, everybody. Welcome into the stream. I hope you guys are having a great day. What's going on, Zen? Paint meets plastic. How you guys doing? Good luck with your meeting, Zen. We'll see you later. So we're going to be painting bases today. That's the whole idea. And I have about 45-ish bases, somewhere around there. I have a lot of bases to paint. We are painting these bases to get ready for what is it? New Heresy box, Saturnine box. So I figured I'd paint the bases first just to have them ready. So we can go ahead and jump in, and we'll start with what I think is the coolest one here. Let's go here.
I believe
Hey, Cultured American. Welcome, man, and thank you so much for the sub, man. How you doing? So, I have a base here. I saw somebody painting or assembling their big Saturnine Dreadnought. And what they did was they put a Leman Russ hull underneath the foot, and apparently all these Saturnine minis, like the Terminators and the Dreadnought, are extremely posable. So he built the mini stepping on the Leman Russ turret, and I was like, you know what? It's like I have an old, like, crappy print of a Predator turret. What if I just took that and put that on the base? So I already had the base topper printed, but I went ahead last night. I was just messing around, and I kind of made a wrecked Predator turret. A couple things I did. Excuse me. Because it's printed resin, I can't just like bend it. I thought it would have been cool to have like the gun like melted and everything, but instead I just broke it to make it look more damaged. It is a Space Wolf turret, and if you look closely, you can see this head here. This head is actually two parts. You can see that he has like a cloth, almost like a hood in the back of his neck there. This head, conveniently enough, came from the brand new Wolf Priest mini for 40k. And this neck piece, this cloth neck piece, fit perfectly into the power armored like neck spot for the Heresy Marines. So I was able to just put this is a 40k Wolf Priest head, but he's got like the cool like bionic eye, and he's got big sideburns and a mohawk, so it's very Space Wolf. So this is going to be a Space Wolf turret. I guess a theme for the bases that I have is that it's they're on Prospero, right? That's kind of like the base theme. So yeah, so if I'm working on Prospero, I figured Space Wolves are probably appropriate. Yeah, I know part of me would want to do Night Lords, but I know it's not. They're both traitors, so we can't have them all against each other. Yep, no wonder he died. Exactly. Yeah. Typical Space Wolf. But yeah, so we're gonna paint a Space Wolf Predator turret. I drilled holes. I wanted to make it look like we had an entry and an exit, and the exit's bigger. And the nice thing, this was old like water washable resin, and so it's super brittle. So I was drilling into the pin vise, and it was just chipping away, like flaking away these outer parts, so it looks really good. I did like little drills to put like bolter markings throughout the turret, so there's some other damage throughout there. And then I made this guy, put some green stuff on him. Some of my green stuff work is better than others, but this is just almost all the pieces on this mini is from the just the spawns. I like the like tank commander that sticks out the top. So he's wearing that like Mark II armor, and yeah, I just basically shifted the arms a bit. This one I cut off the hand. I put this pistol hand on there, like he was trying to make like a little last stand against it. And yeah, Yeah, that's it. And he's dead. He's one dead dude. What's up, John Lockridge? How you doing? Joining on YouTube. So yeah, that's the whole thing. I'm gonna start painting these bases. I don't quite have all of them ready. Notably, the 50 mil bases. I only have 2 actual 50 millimeter bases from my giant spare base box, so I have to wait until the actual set comes in to get the rest of them going. But that's fine. I'll have plenty of time. I have plans for that set anyway. That the Saturnine Termes will take some time. I'm not gonna have the set painted in a week or whatever. I did not know. I don't have Saturnine box yet. Nope. I am not special snowflake. No early or free minis for me. This base is for a Saturnine Dreadnought. And what I'm doing today is just painting bases for my Saturnine box. I'm trying to preemptively have bases finished. Yeah, so I can just paint my minis and glue them on. Yeah. I'm excited. Work in the satellite office? Okay. Everyone's a special snowflake. Well, not special enough to get early things. If I had my Saturnine box now, I would be painting my Saturnine box right now. But I don't. And yes, this will be a Space Wolf, destroyed Space Wolf turret. Sky blue. I'm trying to figure out all my plans. One of my dilemmas is how am I going to paint and or equip or outfit all of the tactical marines I'm getting. Most of them will be tactical marines, but I want to make some extra stuff. So I think I'm going to make some breachers. Squad of breachers will be cool and different. There's 10 of them. We'll see how I feel about them after that, but I think I'm going to do that. I don't know if I'm going to make any assault marines out of them. I don't know. Thoughts on the reveal show? Yeah. Votan stuff pretty good. Chaos Tours making one to get OS. New Raven Guard characters incredible. Very cool. All right. Yeah, we did a little like watch along stream with that, and for those of you who stuck around, thank you for dealing with the weird audio issue from the first part of that stream. That was annoying, and it was a stupid Streamlabs thing that was incredibly stupid. So yeah, we ended up fixing it halfway through the dang stream. But yeah, we got it together, we figured it out. Yeah, I think the Votan minis look okay. I'm not a huge fan of the big robot walkers. Um, I I am surprised, honestly, because um, I personally think that Necromunda, the Necromunda like squats or whatever, like nailed the aesthetic, nailed the perfect like Votan aesthetic, and the fact that they're not taking from that with their designs is mind-boggling to me. Yeah, like the Votan, they have like a dreadnought robot kind of thing in Necromunda, and it looks so cool. And then they just ignore it, and they release their own like kind of weird version of it. But they're like tall. I don't know. They're like the size of a normal human, which is kind of funny, like for being like a big stompy robot. But they remind me a lot of the Thousand Suns robot. The Chaos Dwarves look okay. I was surprised that they weren't as like that they weren't as like Warhammer Fantasy coded as they were. It looks like they. I do think they look better than the Thousand Suns robot. I just think aesthetically, I think they look so similar. Yeah, Sea Kraken, welcome in. I think the Necromunda squats look great. And I'm not a huge, after painting 4,000 or 5,000 points of Votan, I'm not a huge fan of the minis. I don't care for their aesthetic. So it's like Space Marines fighting for Votan. They kind of do, don't they? They kind of do. The strategist is cool. Big fan of the Doc Brown with the big gun. Yeah, I think the Tyranid guy, the guy that never shuts up about how he fought a bunch of Tyranids, or was swallowed by one or something. I think that's a pretty good looking mini. Yeah, I'm happy for Votan players though. You guys are getting some good stuff. So you got the Gillette Razor, the Gillette electric razor vehicle. So that's cool. Yeah, the Chaos Dwarves were weird because Age of Sigmar is always so over the top with its aesthetics, and you had that with the big mechanical bull thing that they have, the big bull monster and or minotaur monster and everything, and then they have their artillery, and it's just like a skinny gun with big wheels, like that's it, and then Samsite because they gave them a surface-to-air missile. But yeah, that's the Chaos Dwarves. One type at a time. So let's do this. Yeah, no, I think overall they looked good. Overall, Chaos Dwarves look good. Can't believe they gave dwarves spears. It's crazy. Let's keep grabbing more of this type. We'll just get them all out here. We only have so many different bases. Let's see. 670, yeah, it should be 8 of each. Okay, I mean, maybe I have more than 40 of these bases. Spears and swords. Should have been axe and hammers, yeah. I don't think the gun units look good. I don't know, something about them They just look like they're wearing dresses, and then they, I don't know, just have giant gun that's like way too big. It's kind of a weird look. I think the like the bull centaurs look really good. The Taurus looks good. The characters look good. Yeah, some of the infantry's a little lackluster. The sword and board guys look cool, but your artillery's okay. The problem with dwarves and dresses, maybe. I mean, it's alright if they want to do it, but not gonna spend my money. Ultimately, these bases are really, really simple and quick to paint. The two hurdles with these, one is creating variety in how they look, which I don't think has ever been much of a problem, because I have 200 minis on these 32 mil bases, and I don't think people really look at the bases and like, man, all their bases are the same. Like, I don't think that comes up. At least even when I look at them, I never like pick that out. But the other thing is just dry time. So, you know, just waiting for things to dry. And what's nice when you're painting, 40 bases at once is you don't have to wait for things to dry. So,
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me.
Hey, Heretical Spartan, thank you for the YouTube sub. I appreciate that. Welcome in. We're just chatting. I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Just painting, chatting about the Friday reveals. Yeah, the Legion Imperialis, I was glad they're getting stuff, and it seems like they're getting a little, I don't know, 1.5 edition is what it looks like with that big book. That's kind of what I'm guessing. It's like a balance update, new thing. I do have to say, with that happening, I'm sure there are going to be people out there like, well, why couldn't Heresy, like Big Heresy, just get a big balance update? We've talked about this like ad nauseum, but I think there's multiple reasons, but I think there's a good indication that this edition of Heresy will stick around longer than 3 years. Partly because of seeing the Old World and Legions Imperialis now getting a like big errata update, like changing rules and stuff. Kind of a 0.5 edition. Like between that happening with both of those, and like just I don't know, some of the other like things that we've talked about, I think that Heresy might stick around for more than 3 years. I wouldn't hold my breath, on them not getting a new edition, but I think that's a decent chance. Yeah, culture, but I mean that's most Games Workshop games. That's been Heresy since the first edition of Heresy, though. Like Big Heresy is exactly the same. That whole game lives and dies on community like house rules. And I don't know if I necessarily see that changing with 3.0. So I know a lot of people, and myself included, just wanted, a big errata on 2.0, even if they sold a new book on it, and just said like, hey, here's 2.5, here's new rule. We added a bunch of, we errated a lot of stuff, we changed a lot of stuff, we updated unit profiles, all that kind of stuff. Like, I would have probably preferred that. But that said, like 3.0 looks like fun to me. I'm glad my army and armies have decent rules now, because my two kind of main armies in that game are Thousand Suns and Solar Auxilia, and both of them were awful in 2.0. So, 3rd edition, hopefully a bit better. Didn't feel finished. Flyers were so powerful, we didn't have ground models that could destroy them. Oh yeah, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, and again, like that just seems, that's like GW balancing in a nutshell, especially the specialist games. Like in Heresy, it was just generally accepted that you only take 1 dreadnought per 1,000 points in your army, because any more of that was utterly broken, because they were so hard to kill. And on top of that, like, talking to your opponent before you brought Primarchs or Lords of War, or there's certain rights of war in Heresy that nobody touched with a 10-foot pole, because no one would ever play against you again if you did. Yeah, some Legion rules were just so completely broken, and the other ones were like completely useless. So there was so much that made Heresy a terribly written game. And part of that might be just like COVID during rules writing process and everything. Like, that could have affected a lot of that process, like it seems to have affected a lot of things when it comes to like media and stuff. Let's get these bases out. The rules change they mentioned for 1,000. Yeah, they're getting a new Arcana, is what that is. So, yeah, whether it's a more of these. Let's see, 1 through 4, 5, 7, 9. Okay, the Arcanas are they're like minor psychic lures for Thousand Suns that all Thousand Suns units can take. So, yeah, I'm curious what the Arcana is, but I think I'm probably a little more curious if other Thousand Suns units can take it. I don't know. They might have mentioned that's just for Saturnine Terminators, but either way, that'll be cool. Hopefully, it's something that makes them, useful, and it's not just like a complete waste. Excuse me. Oh man, I was in a local Discord. We were trying to figure out how Mechanicum rules work in 3rd edition, and we were going back and forth, and I had it completely wrong, and someone else had it wrong but in a completely different way, and it was just so complicated, so wordy. No Dark Mech in Big Heresy. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Well, okay, so basically their rules culture, because yeah, you're playing Mechanicum, that's right. And I also I'm sure Dark Mech are coming, but the way their rules work, everybody gets that primary detachment, that initial primary detachment. And what happens with that primary detachment is you get, your big HQ, you get a bunch of little command, you get a high command, a bunch of commands, a bunch of troops, and a bunch of transports. And for Mechanicum, the only troop choice they have that is a troop designation are tech priests. So at first you're like, oh man, it means I can't do anything. Oh, it's worthless. No, it's not that bad. Not that bad. What you do is wait, hold on. Do I have this? Yeah, okay. So I think I have this right. But it was also like 1 a.m. when I was like reading these and trying to figure them out. So your tech priests unlock detachments. See, now I need to go back and look at this, because now I feel like I'm just getting it all wrong. But I think it's the tech priests that unlock detachments. And you pick a sub-faction for Mechanicum, and I can't even begin to pronounce their different sub-factions, but there's the Automaton one, there's the Infantry one, there's the Myrmidon one, there's the different sub-factions. So you pick a sub-faction, and for that, and you basically get a detachment, and that detachment has to be all that sub-faction. And that's how it works. And then you pick another tech priest, and you can pick more of a sub-faction from someone different. So you just have basically your detachments all have to be the same sub-faction is the long and short of it. And then Mechanicum allies, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think you can ally other factions into a Mechanicum army. So you can only ally different Mechanicum sub-factions or allied detachments, I think. It's crazy. I was half joking when I was like, we were talking about this, and I was like, yeah, I understand how their army building works. I was like, I understand Mechanicum more than I ever have. And I do not understand. I've never understood Mechanicum. And it turns out I was completely wrong about what I was saying, because something with the Queen's English, and where they put a comma in like a random place and then it changes like the entire meaning of it. I don't know. But and I was like, okay, like I am sticking with my statement here that I don't understand anything. Yeah, Mechanicum have a lot of cool rules though. Like they mess with vehicles really bad, so they have a ton of weapons with the shock rule, which will just automatically put statuses on vehicles. So if you're thinking like, man, I'm gonna have such a hard time killing vehicles now, they're so tough, like Land Raiders, Armor by 14 is really tough in the game now. But then you just pin them and suppress them, and they don't do anything for the whole next turn. And then you just keep doing that. Like that's all it takes is you just roll a 5 or a 6 to hit, then you just have a bunch of weapons that can do that, and you just stun lock all the vehicles in place. That said, they do have a lot of weapons that are really good at blowing up tanks too. So yeah, that's really cool too. Yeah, just take over an opponent's vehicle. Yep. When I was reading, people had seen some of the like rules leak, and they started freaking out about how they can't blow up vehicles. Like, all I have is Melta and I can't destroy vehicles. But like, Mechanicum have always had like all the weird weapons. Like, I feel like the common things that normal armies take are too basic for Mechanicum. It's all the weird graviton and neutron and, you know, all these other like weird weapons that end up being the ones that do all this stuff. But yeah, it's about, I think a lot, they have probably one of the like most powerful close combat weapons I've seen that can blow up tanks. But then there's just straight up like 20 different weapons in their book that have that shock rule that'll just pin or suppress or whatever tanks. So yeah, the haywire kind of stuff. So haywire is not a rule. I think it's just the shock rule is like kind of replaced haywire as a rule. But yeah, yeah, they it's good. You just stop the vehicles from doing anything, and you win. Right? That's the whole idea. Blue on those. What's the next one here? We got a whole bunch. Let's get our next. You 2, 4, 6, 7. There's gotta be more. Looks like those 8. Hey, Big Papa, what's up? Wondering how they'd print on my printer. You want to try it? Let me send you some files for you to try, or what? What's going on, guys? Oh, nice. Yeah. Live the dream. Yeah, painting family's doing well. Painting son is at his grandparents' for the week, doing grandma camp. So he is having the time of his life. We had a project to do this week, and it was to sand and stain our deck. And yeah, I felt like yesterday was just like misadventures with that. We had a plan, we're ready to go, and it's just like everything gets slowly whittled down. Some funny thing I learned is that wood stain costs about 4 times as much as it did the last time I bought it. Fun fact, guys. Fun fact. I was just tired, dude. I was so tired. I wasn't mad. We worked on that deck from, it was like 9 a.m. we went out to start on things, and then we were working until about 7 o'clock. Yeah, dude was furious. Yeah. Yeah, also, I can't really respond when I'm just like covered in sawdust and whatever. Let's take a little bit. Yeah. So I bought the last time I stained my deck a couple years ago. I bought stain, and I got a 5-gallon bucket of it, and it was $65 or something. And I was like, I'm gonna get the nice stuff. It's $65, but I want it. I wanted to last, and so that's what I got. I paid $65 for a 5-gallon bucket of stain. Well, my stain, what I had left of it had gone bad over the years, because I guess it doesn't last that long or whatever. No, not fast, not at all. So I had to go get new stain. And I was like, all right, let's go get the stuff. So I went to the store, And I was like, hey, do you guys have this brand? They're like, no, we don't have that brand anymore. Okay, great. That's awesome. All right, I just need to color match this then, or something. Like, give me a similar color. So I was looking for it for a 5-gallon bucket of stain that doesn't even have the word pro on it. You know, it's just stain. I don't know, but it was over $200. I looked at the lady working and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, this is this is what it is. Yeah, I know, that's what I was thinking. Like, why do you need to charge $200 for wood stain? It's like Army Painter took over and they just used their Army Painter dips as and just selling it as like Valspar, you know? It's crazy. Crazy expensive. Fair cultured American, I get the reference. Um, yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, I mean, I rented a floor sander because I don't want to go through with a little like orbital sander on the whole deck floor. So I just rented a floor sander, and I went to the store to pick up my rental. And the guy's like, yeah, you need these things called ice cream sandwiches, what they call their sanding pads, and then you stick the sandpaper on them. So he goes to grab them, and he's like, oh no. He's like, we're all out. Like, we don't have any. He's like checking the stock, and he's like, yeah, we don't have any here. And I was like, well, that's great. You know, like, it's a great way to start the day. Um, they were out of ice cream sandwiches. I know, dude. Yeah, it was wild. So he's like, yeah, you can go to our other store over on the other side of town and get those. And I was like, all right, we're on a timer with this rental at this point. Um, and yeah, and like this is really really annoying. I didn't think it was going to take me 4 hours to sand the floor of the deck because it's not that big of a deck. But yeah, so we had to drive up to a different store. We had to buy the stuff we needed and then go back, and yeah, I finished everything in like, I don't know, it took me like half an hour or whatever. Yeah, it was just the floor. So I just used that floor sander, and then we just took it back when I was done with that. Yeah, yeah, and then we spent a good, I don't know, 3 4 hours sanding the rest of the deck, and I ended up getting. I okay, so a long years ago when I did this, the last time I did this, you know, I didn't know anything. I still hardly know anything, but I just tried to get a sander with like as much surface area as I could get, like a handheld one. And so I got a belt sander, and the belt sander sucked for multiple reasons. It was terrible. So don't use a belt sander to sand your deck. It's more of a frustrating experience. So we got 2 new sanders. It's been 84 years, yeah. So we got 2 new sanders. I got an orbital sander, which was amazing. Like that was the perfect tool. The orbital sander, and then we got a little like detailed sander, like a mouse sander, I think is what they call it. Um, and yeah, me and the painting wife spent all day doing that. So we spent a good like 4 hours. Yep. Yeah, I'm pooped. We had to finish things today, so not going to 3 o'clock today. So nice thing about staining is I have a giant spray gun that my dad left me when he moved, and they thought they were gonna live their life in a fifth wheel trailer. So money on a good stain, and then a bird poops on it. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Hey, is that Yo Raptor? I got bases in my way, man. My hand can't move over that far. Let me shift all these bases up somewhere. Okay. So what all I have to do to stain is we need to hang up plastic to like cover our siding. So I'm just gonna use like plastic sheets. I'm just gonna tape them up, and then I'm just gonna hose the deck down. That's the whole plan. It'll take like 20 minutes. Not gonna stain wood paneling. Yeah, 3 hours later. No, that spray gun, it's crazy big spray gun. Only issue is try to put stain through it when the stain is chunky. It doesn't spray too well. Surprise, surprise. Okay, next group of bases. We'll get these ones. Ooh, yeah, it's you guys. Okay. You and not you. Learned your lesson with your airbrush. I know. Well, I didn't know it was chunky. I put it in the airbrush. Or in the big airbrush. Yeah, I'm already paying GW prices for that stain. Might as well just go full GW, right? Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, I think I might have 45 base. I might have gone a little over on the bases, but what's fine is that I'll use all of these, so not that big a deal. Okay. You never have too many painted bases. Hey, Blue, what's going on, man? So these bases are for my Saturnine box that I should be picking up this weekend. So normally I paint my minis and then I paint the bases, but I decided to just preemptively paint all the bases. And then I just don't have to worry about it when the actual minis come in. So. bit of an opposite, so I'm trying to make every one of these as different as I can. Not too worried about little mistakes. A lot of these little mistakes will be covered by some kind of weathering powder. Washes and dry brushes and all that. So that dread knowing you still got the base to do. Yeah, and it lets me be proactive, right? Like, I'm already working on my Saturnine box and it hasn't even come in. So yeah, it'll be really nice to like paint the mini and just like, ooh, cool, let me pull a base out of the box and just glue them on there. Yeah. Be a really good feeling. Hey, Mydro, what's going on? I did. I worked on one base. I don't know if you guys saw in the Discord. I made a pretty cool base. I'm excited to paint. I put a dead space wolf on my Saturnine Dreadnought base, and the Dreadnought's going to be stepping on the destroyed turret. It's going to be great. Here, seeing you're getting FOMO. Oh wow. Just remember guys, that set is not limited. It's not a limited set. Yeah, Saturnine Terminators are probably my least favorite thing out of the set. But then there's the fact that according to the preview on Friday, my Legion is getting a unique upgrade for Saturnine Terminators. So I'm like, well, dang it! Now I feel like I need them because I get the unique thing. Misfit, how you doing this morning? After this blue, we're going to go through with ivory. We'll get all the opposing squares. we're done making decisions on the minis after this point. Everything else is just formulaic. Okay, one more. This one and this one. Honestly, cruising through this color pretty quick. Sure, if we added a couple more degrees to a circle, the circle Saturnine could roll around the battlefield. Oh yeah, probably. Yep. Do you guys see the Necron's kill team basically is getting Droidica, which is really cool. Yeah, check out the Necron kill team. They have those. It's a bunch of Canoptic stuff, which is really cool. The Canoptic stuff is the coolest, like Necron thing to me. But there's like the Canoptic. I don't know what they're called. Canoptic things, and they walk around. They have like guns, and they look like they roll around. Also, no, the giveaway. So I am giving a mini away, guys. It's gonna be this week. I am going to start painting it tomorrow. And then, alright. I'll start painting it tomorrow. I'm going to try to finish painting it on Thursday. And then we're going to draw names at the end of Thursday. So, that's what we'll do. Yeah, they're basically Droidicas. Yep. Hey, thanks for the sub, Mitral. Thank you. Yeah, we're giving away a Cathay Shugingen Lord. The guy on the Greater Longma is what it's called. Or sorry, it's a lady. It's a lady on a Greater Longma. New Tyranny Combat Patrol. Use every bit of it. Oh, nice. Okay. Very nice. Well, good. Oh, did Big Papa gift that sub? Okay, well, thanks, Big Papa. Restream doesn't like to tell me when people gift subs, so... Always put my foot in my mouth when I do that. Big Papa, I appreciate you, man. Me missing the giveaway due to ads, yeah. Yeah, the giveaway it's gonna be so here's how I think it's gonna work. I need to figure out. I've never done like a 2-day one, the giveaway, so I gotta figure out the whole process. But I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna be over the course of 2 days because there's no way I can paint this many in 4 hours. Just not happening. So I think what I'll do is I will give an entry each day if you show up to stream. It's completely free. Just show up, say hi, put a comment, something, let me know you're here. And you'll get an entry into the giveaway. Patreon members, I'm going to give all Patreon members 2 entries. Because normally they get a bonus entry for just being a member of the Patreon. But they're going to get 2 entries this time since we're doing it over 2 days. So you can have up to 4 entries into the giveaway by being a member of the Patreon. That's what's going to happen. Or if you're a Patreon member, you just don't want to show up to the stream, then you just get your 2 entries, and you can still win the things. So. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I'm really excited to paint it. Should be a fun time. It'll be tomorrow. Already won a TPD original. Okay, okay. Let's get the next one. Hello. Painting Wife's gonna come hang out with us for a while, guys. Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about, like, my drinking water.
No.
That's like, what's wrong with my water? It is. Some dark turquoise right now.
Some, like, muddy brown color.
Yeah, it'll
Right
get
now
there.
It's very blue.
It'll get there. Oh. Got some hellos in chat. You got an Oi Beltalota.
Hey.
I think Big Papa like knows when you're gonna be on stream or something. Like knows when you're gonna be like present, because he doesn't show up to my stream otherwise.
Yeah, I feel like I remember you saying that.
Like I don't see the guy in months, and then you come and stream with me, and he just like he shows up. Yep. Oh, that's creepy. All right.
It's creepy. As
Alright.
is that skit.
Yeah. Show was incredible.
Not from again?
Fear of Girls, an old
That's
YouTube
right,
show.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Like back before YouTube was so like I need to make money on YouTube and like everybody's just like focusing on the algorithm. It was just dudes like filming this weird show about about like nerdy people playing D&D. It's great. Great show, guys. Old I think it was just 3 episodes if I'm not mistaken. But it was just called Fear of Girls. It's very like stereotype D&D players like to the extreme. It's funny. Rach also says hello.
Hello.
Yeah, and Big Papa is creepy. Yep. Yep.
What?
Of these now. I'm only allowed outside at night. It's a court order. You got on the basing grind? You have a tournament coming up? Oh, dang. What kind of tournament, Heretical Spartan? What are you playing? I have an event coming up this Sunday that I'm still not sure if I'm going to or not, because of how crazy my weekend is. Yeah. No, I'm not prepared either. What you gonna play, Painting Wife?
I'm gonna play Pay the Bills.
Ooh, okay, it's exciting.
And then I'm going.
Here's Might Magic, nice, nice. Free Painting Wife stream, kind of. Yeah, she's playing Here's Might Magic on her own in the background, I guess in a little bit, but.
Hey, I found Children's Dramamine.
Oh, did you?
Ta-da!
Nice. All right.
So, hopefully the drive home will be
No,
not
no
eventful.
puking. Yeah. I hear Pay the Bills has bad reviews on Steam. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Screw
0 out of
that.
10. Do
Yeah.
not recommend.
God. He's just talking about his name. Your Death Guard are finally good? Oh, that's cool. Alright. Painting Wife, what faction you playing? Are you continuing your Necropolis game?
I will be, yes.
Yep, she was playing as Necropolis. She abandoned all of her values to play Necropolis.
I have no more moral fortitude at all.
No. She would always look down on me when I played Necropolis, and now look what
Well,
she's
it's not that I
become.
look down on you. It's just that I feel like Necropolis is really OP.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no way to make it happy and colorful. So-
No way to make it colorful. Not when we play with the stupid balance patches that don't let you take one of my buildings, and I can't even upgrade my
Oh my gosh,
vampires.
that's right. So we need to play.
It's upsetting. Is that the one we played against each other? That happened too, right? Like,
I think so. Yeah.
I still won that one.
Yeah. I'm still salty about it.
She's still salty about it. Yeah. Let me tell you why whatever hero you chose are awful. Yeah. Can I backseat game and tell her all the moves she should make to solve the game and become totally unstoppable by turn 3 through the use of math and efficiency?
It depends on who's offering.
Do you want
this
that?
advice.
Yeah. Why is that so like funny? Like I don't know like why that became a thing, but that guy was he just went way too hard. Frankie Finger, she is here to type furiously because that's what she does. So
I have no defense.
okay. Zen, if you're done with are you actually at work and you're like on your way home, or are you just at home? Because I will tell you, I do have I have a delivery of filament coming in today. If you want to wait until that comes in, I don't know when it'll be in, but all teachers type that way. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's like the teacher thing.
I do amuse my students by typing very quickly.
There you go.
So if they ask me a question, I don't know the answer, I type it in Google, and they're like, "Wow, really fast." I'm like, "I know. Go practice your typing, okay?"
Yep. She goes through keyboards like every 6 months, guys.
Oh my
She
God.
just many hours of Mavis Beacon. Yeah, I hated that so much. My mom tried to make me and my brothers use Mavis Beacon.
What is that?
It was a typing, like a learning program on computer
Oh,
way back when we were kids.
gotcha.
We hated it. She was like, "All right, Summer, hour
Summer,
each,
practice
an
your
hour
typing."
each on typing on Mavis Beacon." I was like, "This game's miserable. It's not even a game. It's just type these words." And yeah,
It's like school.
Mavis Beacon isn't even a real person. That's right. Yeah,
Oh my god.
you bought Mavis for your kids. Your kids are gonna despise you for that, mind draw. Burning hatred will never go away. I'm just kidding. Hopefully it works out well. I don't know how my wife got to typing so fast, but
Practice correctly. That's what I tell my students too. You have to learn correctly. You have to do the home row,
What-
and you have to start slow.
what weird video game did you play to learn how to type though in the 90s?
Math blasters.
That's
I had like a
not-
1950s
yeah.
computer growing up until we got
1950s.
our strawberry Apple computer.
You had punch cards. Like putting...
Oh my gosh.
Zen said he learned incorrectly and can keep up with you.
I challenge
He says he types 95 words a minute with 3 fingers.
Sometimes more fingers are better.
Oh man. No, Mavis Beacon was trash. You learned to type fast from Instant Messenger. Yeah,
Oh
AIM,
yeah,
right?
yep, AOL.
Yep.
And like, it's until my dad would yell at me that I was taking up the phone line.
Yeah,
Are you on
yeah.
AOL again? I've missed calls.
Yep.
And then I was grounded. So.
Oh yeah. So Painting Wife and I started dating, and we had AOL accounts, and we would just chat. Yep. Stay up late into the night chatting on AOL. If we weren't AOL, we were on the phone together, and Painting
Past
Wife
9 p.m.
was getting grounded because we were kids. So
Talk till after 9 o'clock. Remember? 7.
yeah, we didn't talk to it. It was 9 o'clock. Yeah, because calls are free after 9 o'clock. Yep. When you got a cell phone, right? Because
Yes, I did.
you didn't have a cell phone when we
Long time.
started dating. Yeah.
That's true, because I would have had a cell phone because I was driving.
Free 9 minutes. Yeah, guys. See, we had Verizon, so it was any time with other Verizon users you get free calls, but then other networks it was after 9. Yep. Dvorak or QWERTY. I don't know what Dvorak is, so Dvorak, is that what it is?
I don't know. I can't
No,
see how it's spelled.
Devorac.
That's
I take faster when I'm mashing my face into the keyboard too. That's true. Yeah, yeah. Can't use your your daytime minutes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Dvorak is a type of keyboard. Okay, I've never used it. It's an alternate layout. I don't know if you guys know this, but the actual keyboard layout was invented by people who made made typewriters to slow down people's typing.
really.
Yep. I don't remember exact. Oh, I think it might be because typists were paid by like the word. There was like this weird thing, and so they made the layout all wonky to slow them down because they didn't want to pay them as much or something weird like that. There was, I don't know, some kind of goofy thing going on. Designed to keep the hammers from. Oh, is the hammers from jamming up? Okay, something like that. Ice Figures paying people. There you go. Hey, if you ever want to learn something, you just say it wrong on the internet. We're almost done with this turquoise. That's the new Nig Combat Patrol. Yeah, I think I think you're fine, dude. It is a legit research strategy. I believe so. Yeah. I think the Combat Patrol looks good. I like the idea of different combat patrols. I don't know what the value is in dollars or if it's like a good value, but what are you talking about? Oh, that's why A is on your pinky. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I like the variety with them though, with the sets. Like that's good, right? They're not just putting Necron Warriors in every set, which they actually do. So you get some different stuff. So if you're just shopping with discount boxes and that's kind of like your buying strategy, then you're good, right? Another excuse to buy something else. Seeing a new Tyranid Combat Patrol is kind of weird though. It's fine, cultured Americans. I don't mind learning new things. I like to learn new things. Yeah, it's cool. I'm curious to see, like, I don't play kill teams, so, whatever they do in 40k would be cool to see. Alright, these are the 50 mil bases here. Some examples. I feel like this 50 mil base, all the creator did was take the 32 mil base and just blow it up, because everything is just bigger, like the shell casings, even the tiling, which is kind of annoying that the tiling is a different size. I don't think all of the bases are like that, but this 50 mil base specifically, the tiling is just straight up bigger. Brawls are allowed to come back. Yeah, there's 3. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. What I like with that kill team set is that there's more canoptic units. So if there's like the ones that are called, there's some kind of warrior, those little ones, like that'd be cool if there's like actual like canoptic warriors. Like that'll be a neat idea. Yeah, the 50 mil might have been an add-on thing, so maybe he was just super lazy and just took, you know, the base sizes like normal base, just blew them up or whatever, stamped them out in a different size, and yeah. Yeah, I didn't catch that before, and now I'm kind of like, eh. So why is that? Huh. Weird stuff going on with this base. Like you have a tile, and this tile, I'll paint it here. It's right here, but there's just like an I-beam sticking through it, and a wall sticking through the tile like that. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that, but that looks like it was really lazily done. Alright, even Blue is excited for the Necrons. He hates Necrons. What do you think about the new Votann stuff, Blue? I know you play Votann. You like your Votann. Down Codex, yeah. That guy's okay. I don't like the like bear heads they gave him. Those don't look too good, in my opinion. But no, the mini's cool. I think what's unfortunate for Raven Guard players is that both of their named characters are now dudes with lightning claws and a jump pack. Like, that's kind of boring. And I feel like they could have given Raven Guard a little more identity than jump pack with lightning claws. Not that the mini doesn't look good. It's just boring, right? You just get like an actual novel. Yeah, you see this one? This is just like, let me show you guys. I'll give you an example. Look at this. So we have this base, and then we have the 32 mil, and they're very similar but mirrored, and then this one is just big. I don't like these 50 mil bases. Oh well, they're on Saturnine minis, and I don't think I'm ever going to use those Saturnine minis in the game, so I don't care too much. But yeah, look how this is weird. It's like they happen to be standing in a different part of the plaza where all the tiles are bigger. These here, it's the vehicle. The rest look pretty dope. Yeah. Yeah, getting a couple like cool named characters for the Votann is good. You need some interesting things like that. They didn't have enough tile to fix it, so they just used bigger tiles. If I do more 50 mils, I'll have to look more carefully at these. If I do more of these, I think I might just ask Zen to stamp them out for me out of the template he gives with this set. Swords and melee unit. Yeah. I think what they could have done for Raven Guard was give him like a cool sniper guy. Even if it's their chapter master, like how different would that have been if their chapter master, like, he's like, yeah, he's like, I wear Phobos armor and use a sniper rifle. Like, that's cool. Right, and that's also very Raven Guard. Yeah, instead of this weird base. Yeah, Zen. That might be the way to go. But we are done with turquoise, and if you guys, I'll show you guys this real quick. This is my my Saturnine Dreadnought base. So I have a dead Space Wolf hanging out the top of it, and you know, we got a whole punch through the tank. And I assumed it you know, detonated the ammunition inside. No, he's gonna be a Space Wolf, Zen. He's a Space Wolf. I'm not gonna do that to you. We're both traitors here. But yeah, and I was able to. So the nice thing, this turret was like a failed print of mine, and it was in my old like water washable resin that I was using. So I've had this for years and never did anything with it. So what was great was when I took a pin vise, I started trying to drill things, it would chip and flake because this resin's so brittle. So you can see where it chipped out pieces of it, and so it looks like really good. Or I would drill just a little bit in, and I'd get these nice little chips that look like bullet impacts and everything, like round impacts. It had a searchlight on top, and I snipped it off, and it like, you know, made it like really messed up and everything. So the Dreadnought's going to be stepping on the turret, and then it's going to have another foot down, and that's the idea. And I broke this barrel off, and there's only so much I can do as far as like modeling goes with this printed turret, but I was happy with what I got. If you look really closely, let's see if we line it up. Yeah, you can see right through. There you go. But yeah, I was really happy with that. So I'm gonna paint this. Is gonna be Space Wolf because my, you know, I guess my basing is Prospero, and the big battle that took place there were Space Wolves. So he shot Fulgrim in the eye. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Let's get some ivory. So essentially, I think I'm gonna paint these bases, and then I have to go back and I'll paint the Dreadnought's base. Yeah, sniper character for the Raven Guard would have been cool. But the mini they got looks good, so it's not the end of the world. How long will I be live? I'm going to be live for another hour and a half about. I'm going to jump off around 2 p.m. Eastern. Since we have house project to continue today. Yeah. Not excited, but needs to be done. This basing scheme is really simple at first. It looks kind of funky and exaggerated at first, but it all comes together toward the end. Back in about 2 hours. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I will be on tomorrow, about 11 a.m. Eastern, and we're going to be doing a giveaway tomorrow. So if you are you're wanting to get a chance to earn yourself a free painted mini. And I'm really excited for this one. I'm excited to paint this mini. And I think I really lucked out finding the mini too in a store. So I'm excited to give this mini away. Excited to paint it. So it should be fun. Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow and Thursday. All right, Heretical. Have fun. I'll see you soon, hopefully. Okay. What's up? This step should go a little faster. I might need a second coat on some of these, maybe not. We'll see how it turns out with one coat. Because there's going to be wash and dry brush and weathering powders and everything over it, so might not matter a whole lot. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a squad of breachers. I'm going to turn some of those Mark II into breachers. That should be fun. I have shield STLs, like Thousand Suns shields. That should look really nice. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, there's a creator on cults that make breacher shields, and they have breacher shields for like every legion. And they're simple, you know. It's a breacher shield that looks cool, but then it just has like the symbol on there, so I don't have to use transfers or anything. It's just the symbol's already on the shield. And the shields aren't like over detailed or anything. My big issue is just finding the bolter arms have been the bigger issue. Finding bolter arms that work for it. And Shadow Slip. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, it's like the like Raven Guard thing, right? Yeah, the Solar Auxilia book completely leaked online. They're like Liber. I was reading that yesterday and last night. Looks really good. I think Auxilia Mechanicum got the better end of the new edition change. There's so many cool things they can do. My Malkador Infernus seems good, so I have a reason to bring my my big flamethrower tank. Zen, have you finished going through all those minis you got? All those new minis? Like taking inventory and done everything? Have you started painting anything? I just wasn't sure where you were on like the process. Okay. Gotcha. Alright. Well, you have 3 different versions of Magic that apparently all turned out in that one print when they all kept failing on other prints. So you have that. And Toad is printed. You gotta be careful with him because like his tongue is a piece and it's very fragile. Like it's super thin. So I don't know. I just see that piece breaking, but I didn't want to break it. That's all there. And then it was a Blob. Blob was one of them, and the handle on the back of his hammer broke. It's supported weird, but that's an easy kind of like glue in place. Okay. Continue on with this color. I try to stream a lot the first half of next week. It's kind of my goal. Probably assembling a lot of minis is going to be the big thing, but if I can get something assembled real quick on like Sunday, and then prime it and try to get to a point where I'm painting it later in the week, that'd be nice. So my color scheme, it takes a few days between like priming and base coloring and actually putting paint on the mini with a brush, so I can't just like knock everything out in a day. Yeah, this weekend's the release. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to be in a car all day Saturday. Well, Friday and Saturday. So I'm going to be driving. I'm going to get home in the evening, and then I'm going to drive out to my local store, pick up my stuff. And then I don't know what I'm doing from there, but that's a lot. I have another box to pick up from a different store. Yep. Gotta divvy out. No, I forgot to message the guy. Yeah, there's a guy I'm selling some minis to from one of the sets. Different people had interest in different parts of the set, so I just kind of like I guess, coordinated, and I'm buying the box, and I'm gonna, like, parse it out to people. And I was gonna meet a guy at a store that I've never been to, and apparently the store has a sign on the door that says no selling minis on their property. So I can't, like, I mean, he could just pay me, like, on PayPal, and then I could just bring him the minis and give them to him, right? Yeah. Yeah, walk over to the sidewalk. Yeah, yeah. It is a very weird and specific rule. I feel like there's easy technical workarounds, but also if they're like, I've never been to the store, but if the store is like, really strict about it, I don't want to make them upset, I want to respect the policy. They have instructions on how far away you have to be? Really? That's weird. There's one time, guys, I sold some minis to somebody. And in my city, there was one official Warhammer, like, Games Workshop store. And I was selling... I messaged this guy, I was chatting with him, and he wanted to buy these minis. Great. He wanted to meet me at the Warhammer store. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, I'll meet you out in the parking lot or whatever, and pass off minis and money. Okay, great. So I get there, and there's no one in the parking lot. It was like at night too. Like, I don't know, it was like 7 p.m. It was already dark out, all this stuff. And so I walk into the store, and I'm like, hey, and there were like 4 people sitting on a table painting minis with, like, the manager of the store. And I was like, hey, is so-and-so here? And this one guy's like, oh yeah, that's me. And I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, yeah, did you bring the minis? He's like, yeah, I got the money for you. And I was like, this is weird. I was like, I don't want to sell minis inside the Games Workshop store in front of the manager that you're just, like, hanging out with. Like, you're killing this dude's bonus, right? like right in front of his face. I was like, this is, and I was trying to get him and be like, hey, yeah, let's, hey, you wanna like come out of the parking lot? I'll grab the stuff. And he's like, I'll be in here. It was just like, so yeah, sure enough, I brought an old mini to him, and he just gave me the cash for it, like, right in front of the dude's face. It's weird. Like, I know it's a Games Workshop store, like, who cares, right? Like, I don't care about losing the $1 billion corporation money. It's just, I just felt bad. Yeah, for like personal reasons, like the guy's standing right there, like the manager. He's like puppy dog eyes while we're like just losing him a sale right there. Oh no, still a mini they sold. Like, there was, it wasn't like a mini that was like out of stock. It was a Land Raider. That's what it was. Like, they have Land Raiders in the store. Store here will actively tell you to stop talking if you're discussing used miniatures. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. Yeah, they had a box on the shelf. Like, the manager's sitting there, like, assembling a box of the of a Land Raider, and the guy's just like, I'm gonna buy this used one. Yeah, I think like independent stores, I know, like, Games Workshop stores, they can be weird and stuff, but like independent stores, they have to be like a member of the community, right? You can't get a bad reputation as a friendly local gaming store and, like, stay around. They are not franchises, Culture America. No, GW stores are all owned by GW. There are no franchise stores, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I know local stores that have like used miniature cases where they're just minis on display and you just buy them. What's up, Judge Dave? See what you did there. Yeah, I don't ever feel bad about buying or selling used minis or anything, but yeah, Epic Loot is a store. They have like a case of miniatures, and they yeah, you just go in there and like they just have a big case full of minis you can just pick from and buy. What? I'm not repeating the things you say, Judge Dave. Gonna go weird. My first time going to Epic Loot. So Epic Loot is, they have a couple locations, but they have or had one. I don't know. I haven't been there in years. In a town called Springfield, Ohio. You know, like every state has a Springfield. So this is in Springfield. Zen, you have no idea what I'm like. So they're making comments. Painting wife. Yep.
Do I need to go beat someone up for you?
I think you might need to set the record straight. Zen said I look like a selfish lover.
Look like a selfish lover?
Or he seems like a selfish lover. That's what he said.
Oh no, I can definitely confirm that is not true.
There you go. There you go.
Awkward silence.
Anyway, so you or parents are being gross. Yeah. It's a joke from an English TV show. I don't get it. English people confuse me. Anyway, Epic Loot was a weird store. I went in there the first time. It's in Springfield, Ohio. And anyone from Ohio, if you know anything about Springfield, you know it's a super rundown town. I think for many years it had a lot of issues with like drugs. Like a lot of like towns in Ohio just have like crazy like drug epidemics and everything and all this stuff. So I go to the store in Springfield, and it was at the Springfield Mall. And I was like, oh, cool, they have a mall. All right. So I go to this mall, and everything in the mall was closed. Oh, no, there's tons of gun crime. I mean, that's one of the things that comes with, like, rampant drug use, right? Hey, what's up, Greenleaf? What's going on? So we go to the mall I went to a tournament. It was a Star Wars Armada tournament years ago. And all the stores in this mall were closed except for a CVS, Epic Loot, and there was like a Subway. But it was a whole like indoor like shopping mall. And I don't know if other places in the world have shopping malls like the US does, but if you understand like a shopping mall and the fact that there is a CVS in a shopping mall and like that's the one open store, you know how weird that is. Yeah, drugs in Ohio, yeah. Say it ain't so. So yeah, we go to this store in the mall. The way to get in the mall is to walk through CVS. The main doors were locked. So CVS had an outside entrance, and the way the CVS was, it was one long aisle. Like all of their products were on either side of you as you walked through the CVS to get into the mall. And yeah, it was so weird. So like CVS like forcing you to buy. to like see everything they have in stock. So you walk through the CVS you get in the mall, and you just walk by a bunch of caged in storefronts. Yeah, yeah, and then you get to Epic Loot. Epic Loot was right next door to an old Sears. But the Sears was closed, so like it had the Sears letters, and it was just all caged in. It was like the big store at the end of the mall, and then so you have like all these closed stores around. Like lights are like mostly out, and then there's Epic Loot, and Epic Loot actually owned 2 locations in the mall. So they had side by side, they had like a double like storefront, and one of it was the actual like buy everything here, and the other one was just gaming tables. And both of them had like a full like open entrance into the rest of the mall. But yeah, you had it was so weird. Yeah, CVS, Subway, and in the middle of the mall, like in the walkway, like the big like, I don't know, atrium, whatever you call it. There was like a little, I don't know what it, like a little like bungee jump thing. I don't know what those are. It was like a weird, not like amusement park thing, but it was, yeah, in the promenade. So like there were people that were walking around in the mall, and they were like doing like, "Ooh, cool, I wanted this bungee thing," and they like do the bungee thing, and then go to CVS, I guess. I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm sure Epic Loot had crazy cheap rent there. Yeah, and again, I don't know if they're still there, if the mall is still there, or what's going on, but because it's been more than a couple years since I've been there. Yeah, store was nice. Tournament was good. I placed 3rd. Won a bunch of cool game mats, so that was fun. The only reason I placed 3rd is because someone quit in their final round because they were so mad at their opponent for some reason. I never got the full story. They ended up straight up quitting in the middle of their final game, and it gave the other person a full win that like catapulted them ahead of a bunch of other people. That was weird. Yeah, it was a whole weird thing. I don't even know. I never got the whole story from it. Yeah, someone just rage quit. Yeah. Maybe it was like the 3rd round of 4 or something. And coworkers, when they mention their lifestyle of hanging out at the mall, they look at me as if I was speaking some sort of thing. Yeah, it's because they probably did hear it from their grandparents. That's probably why, Eulogy Master, hanging out at the mall. I used to go to the mall quite a bit. I wouldn't say I hung out at the mall. But I also don't like to be around people, so. What'd you send? Yeah, you said you got your stuff is shipped, right? Right, Judge Dave? That's cool. I'm leaving. Yeah. I think so my little understanding of what was going on was they were playing their game, and one player kept like doing that thing, you guys ever play against someone and they like call out everything you do, but then they ask for do-overs and you like give them the leeway, and then when like when you need something or you made a mistake or something weird, like they question it all and they don't let you do anything, like that kind of player. I think we've all met and played against the kind of guy that like Judge Dave definitely is.
Wow.
So yep, he knows so yeah, it's I think it was like that that situation. Boom roasted, yeah, just Judge Dave spamming his las cannons in a game where like everybody, like nobody takes las cannons because they're overpowered. He's like, I'm gonna take 30 of them. Yeah. I think we've all experienced people like that when we play games, and I think that person, like, it was a long day and they were just tired of it, and they just decided to quit and go home or something, and yeah. Apparently the TO didn't know how to deal with that, so he just gave the person like a full win. Nothing rule says I can't do it. That's true. Yeah. Judge Dave bringing the most like heinous overpowered lists. He's like, my opponents were being mean to me. I can get 70. I'm sure you can get 70 las cannons, yeah.
They're so slow.
Yeah, you need like boots of speed. Yeah, even haste isn't great on them.
Yeah.
But
like I have 620 of them.
It's fine. You just
sit there because they can't get anywhere in time.
Are they upgraded?
Yeah.
The armored skeletons?
Uh-huh.
Just run up and get punched by stuff. The nice thing is the enemy will just like they focus them really hard a lot of the times. So it's that or your liches, right? They just like shoot at.
Yeah, it smells.
Yeah.
It's okay. This is a particularly easy map.
That's good. 620 skeletons is nice. Yep, I'm backseat gaming. Yep. That's what I'm doing.
Interrupting.
Yeah, she's interrupting, so. I also don't think Painting Wife has ever played Necropolis before, so.
I have, but I hated it, so I stopped.
Okay. She never played a full game with Necropolis before. Yeah, she's playing Heroes of Might and Magic again. Yep. So everybody, bring your backseat gaming advice into the stream now. Now's your chance. There is painting up the Death Guard list. Yeah, well, that's cool. I heard, yeah, Death Guard and 40k are good now. Is that a thing? Someone's advice is Alt F4. There's no category it's too late. It's too late. Yeah,
What does that mean?
no category selected or Alt F4. Don't push it. It closes the game. It force closes the
That's
game.
mean.
Yeah. It's like an old joke to mess with people. Like getting to push Alt F4. Yeah, well, Crasher, thank you for letting me know I'm not in category. I was an idiot. Didn't put myself in a category. With the way Restream works is I can never stay in a category, so I have to set myself in a category. It's set. Well, now you just gave everybody ads. Zen. They'll be okay. All right. Sorry for the ads, everybody. why I wasn't going to do it. I didn't want to give people ads. Just means they need to sub. That's true. Yeah. Which version of Heroes are you playing, Painting Wife?
Just
Well, she's playing Heroes Might and Magic 3. Complete.
yeah.
Yep. There are more Heroes Might and Magic games. I don't know if you
Oh,
knew.
it's not it. I know. What did I have for a while? Was it 6?
We had 6. It was not fun.
Yeah.
It had some cool stuff to it, and then like the actual gameplay was lame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Olden Era looks really good though. Someone was talking about Olden Era earlier. It got delayed, but I'm waiting for it. I'll try it out. Right. We're getting there on this ivory. I get a wash on all these bases. Playing Heroes Might Magic 3. 30 hours straight with no sleep when I was a kid. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think Total War 40K is happening. Yeah, I think the end of the year they'll announce it. Creative Assembly said that they're announcing new games at the end of the year. They're gonna do like some big thing and announce games. I think 40K Total War. They did say there is a historical game and I don't know if they called it a fantasy game or something that's they're working on right now. So yeah, and Warhammer Total War has been like a golden goose for Creative Assemblies. So, and I think for Games Workshop's like licensing also. And they could go. All right, Judge Dave, have a good one. See you later. Trying to mess when I had this when I knew I needed sleep. Oh yeah. Man, Here's My Magic 3 so good though. We so 40K Total War. I think they could. I mean, I would prefer it, but I prefer like Firstborn Space Marine stuff. I'd prefer it if they did like a what is that? Rift setting. And maybe they'd be able to keep it with, with the idea of like we're not stepping on tabletop gaming's toes. But more likely than not, it's going to be a very like modern 40K game. So Primaris and modern characters and everything. And did you win?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. Painting Wife won her Heroes game. 30 Ultramarines captain. No, they don't. Creative Assembly doesn't do that. I mean, who knows what their DLC model would be? But if it's based on like Total War, like I think people would be really happy with how they do DLC for the game. See, I don't know, Zen, because I think there is, maybe that might be the case now. But I think when Total War Warhammer came out, I think the only reason Creative Assembly got the rights to make that game is because GW thought for a long time that a game with that much depth set in the setting that they currently sell would not be okay, because they thought it would take away from mini sales. Because like, why would I buy the miniatures when I can play the game on my computer? Like, that's a very Games Workshop mindset. I think they realized after the Old World came out last year that is absolutely not the case, and it is probably the opposite, where it makes people want to get into the miniature game more. And it was like a big missed opportunity that they noticed, I think, afterwards. Stonemas B, thank you for the sub, man. How you doing? I think they realized well after the fact that people were like dying for Warhammer Fantasy to be back, and people were well, you know, GW doesn't do market research, so what official means do they have to figure this stuff out? But the buzz around Warhammer Fantasy and how mad people were that they couldn't buy the minis when that game had been out for years and years and years, I think was enough for GW to be like, all right, we need to make this a game again. You know, and probably a big reason why the Old World is out. I mean, you know, Cathay as a faction, while it was designed by Games Workshop, it was originally Creative Assembly's idea to make Cathay a faction, like a workable, playable faction in the game, and then Games Workshop designers like designed the faction and the miniatures and the art and everything. So, yeah, I think if they make a decent enough game, I think it can only be good for Games Workshop. So, yeah, hopefully that's something they've learned. Yeah, Dawn of War is another great example that just worked out so well. When they have good games that kind of mimic what you can do on the tabletop, and you know, you get like, it just gives you that itch to go buy minis. You know, you have your favorite unit, and like, yeah, man, I really love Dreadnoughts. Like, I just want to collect Dreadnoughts. That'd be so cool. I just want one for my desk. And you buy one, like, oh, I gotta paint it. All right, let me get some paints. And you're like, man, I could just play a whole game. And yeah, it's a whole like thing, right? So 40k MMO. It was almost a thing. It was almost a thing. The idea for the 40k MMO was incredible. There were so many good ideas for it, and it just fell through. Completely fell through. It was Eternal Crusade, I think is what it was called. Yeah, there was originally going to be multiple factions. You pick a class, you fight in giant battles with, like, you know, hundreds of people, you know, at the same time, and you're constantly fighting over, like, specific places on planets, and you're gaining resources, and there's people that are commanders of the factions, and just all kinds of crazy stuff like that. There's so many good ideas. Yeah, they basically made like skeletons for the Space Marines, and then like all their funding fell through, and so they like kind of chugged along for a few years, and then that was it. In like development, it didn't even. I think they had like a beta or something that people would play, but it was like Space Marine on Space Marine, like third-person shooter beta is basically what it ended up being. My thought, so way back when, long time ago, my thought for like an MMO style game was you take an MMO and you give it a Dynasty Warriors-esque feel to it. So some mechanics from Dynasty Warriors. So one of the things from Dynasty Warriors was you'd get like your retinue. I played like one Dynasty Warriors game, so I don't know if this is all of them, but you get like a retinue. Right, so you have like your main character that's like a beast and does his own thing, and then you have like custom troops that you like recruit and that go around with you that you can equip and everything. So you think like a Space Marine as like a basic example. You know, you can end up getting a tactical squad, and then maybe you get jump packs and they become a veteran squad, or an assault squad, or you know, you can get like good weapons and it's more of like a Devastator squad kind of thing, and you kind of have that. And so when you go into like a multiplayer fight, it's not just 5 dudes hitting each other with chainswords. It's like 50 dudes, because it's like squads like going at it. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dynasty Warriors, if you guys ever played those games, but when I played Dynasty Warriors, it was like you played as a main character, and it was like the era of the Three Kingdoms or whatever, the like China's big civil war. You'd play as your main character, and you would find items and equipment and upgrade your armor and stuff, but you would get a retinue. And you might start with like 2 guys, and you could find weapons for them that you would give them. So you could have like sword and shield guys, you could have guys with spears, or guys with crossbows, or guns, or whatever, and you'd give them their equipment. And then you had like, the game had like basic commands for them, like, like follow me, go here, attack the enemy, that kind of thing. And and like you would be slaughtering people on your own, you cut through whole armies, but it was giant battles, and you had like your like retinue that would be with you also. So I would imagine something like that. But my idea for the 40K game, so Space Marine, you get a tactical squad, or a squad of whatever. If it's Primaris, you could give them, find plasma guns and make them hell blasters. I don't know, do different things like that. Hubbard would pierce. Okay, all right. But if you're playing other factions, so like let's say Imperial Guard, there's a guard. You can be a guardsman in this game, all right. And instead of having a retinue of 10 guys, you would have like a platoon, and you could outfit your platoon, the different squads in your platoon, with different guardsman-like weapons. So they suck compared to a Marine, but then you're playing a little bit more of like, almost like an RTS kind of, where you're commanding multiple squads, and it's like difficult in a different way, and it's not just like cutting your way through everybody, but it's like actually commanding your men like an officer would, and trying to get like the right things, maybe having heavy weapon squads in there, and you have your veterans, you give them different weapons, and so different stuff like that. Like that's guardsmen, like Tyranids, it could be you could have like warriors or raveners or shrikes or whatever, but you could also end up with like just swarms of gaunts, like hormagaunts or termagants or something. And that was my idea for the perfect 40K game, because I'm a huge like RTS fan. So like adding more soldiers, and then like if you say you go into like a multiplayer like PvP match with that kind of game, it ends up being like a 40K size battle. So it might be like 8 on 8, but everybody has multiple like units and stuff, and so you could have like a full guard army facing off against like a couple Space Marine squads, and like how do you deal with that, or like swarms of Tyranids from the players. And so there's like a whole idea. That's my game. That's my game idea, my perfect 40K game idea, aside from just like a grand strategy game that I would really enjoy. Yeah, I mean, a Warhammer reskin for like Battlefront would be fine. That'd be cool. Give me TTS the hours of setup or downloads. Yeah. Alright, just a few more bases to put this ivory. I don't think GW would ever condone something like TTS, though. Yeah, you're thinking Eternal Crusade, but Eternal Crusade Star Laser wasn't even supposed to be like that when it first came out. It was way they had like crazy huge ambition with that game, and then they just kept like losing funding or something. And eventually it was like, no, it's going to be like Battlefront, but with Space Marines. And then it was, they just kind of like floundered there until they shut it down. Yeah, they had crazy ambition for that game. Yeah, there's kind of an old story about how Blizzard had some kind of licensing deal with Games Workshop, and then Games Workshop pulled out of the deal late in development, and so instead of just shutting down the game, they just altered things enough and made it their own setting. And then they made StarCraft and Warcraft out of it. That's kind of the old story. Pray they don't alter it further. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you're gonna settle, Starlaser. You're gonna settle with Dawn of War Remastered, and you'll be happy about it. I'm excited to see the mods for Dawn of War Remastered because people are gonna be able to go nuts without a bunch of weird workarounds for it. Say alter, you just turn into Darth Vader. Can't go back to that game. Okay, I still like the old Dawn of War. Old games feel old. Yeah, it's like the UI and like the button layout, right? Like the buttons kind of they change, right? And they change how we use them. And we get used to the new style. Can't go back to the old style. You put nostalgia, yeah. I mean, I like I said, I still like Dawn of War. I'll happily play that game. Yeah, same with like Heroes of Might and Magic, right? Not anytime soon, Blue. I have too much going on, but it does sound like fun. Okay. Next thing. I need to get... wash. So we're going to use this Army Painter nonsense. Hard for just don't hold up. Yeah, that's true. Okay, cool. We got another bottle. All right. There's sitting around. Let's see, is that one? Oh. You know, I like being able to see the paint colors, like the bottoms of them, without seeing the labels, but when everything is just that color, it's hard to tell what's what. Okay, so we're gonna put you over there, put you back there, and we're gonna start putting a wash over these bases. And let's hope these are dry. They should definitely, yeah, they're definitely dry. Yeah. Was that bottle's empty? Okay, well, never mind. All right, we're on the new bottle. Okay, we're gonna need a big gross brush here. These bases are a trust the process kind of thing, because they look kind of goofy throughout the whole process until you finish them up. I got much on here. Spread the love a little bit. So I have a good amount of time to dry. I will say, if anyone, any Patreon people are here, I am not sure what time or if I will be doing the hangout tomorrow. So if I'm not doing it, you guys are more than welcome to hang out and, you know, amongst yourselves and everything. But we have some family coming over. And so we're going to spend some time with them. I don't know how late they're staying. They might be gone by the time it starts and everything, or by the time I'd want to start. Or, you know, if they don't leave until 9:30 or something, maybe we'll jump on for an hour. I enjoy the Patreon hangouts. They're fun. We don't need to touch any of the tank parts with this wash. We'll get the whole base. Got it though. I'll do my best to share progress pictures on this base in particular. Fun one to mess around with. Get to paint more Space Wolves. This is the kind of context I really like with painting Space Wolves, though. These bases are so quick to paint. It's so satisfying. And I'm so happy to be like getting this step in now. Just like one less thing to do. Some more down. dry brush after this, which will be later. I'm gonna do that tonight on my own or so, and then it's a lot of details to pick out. It's not a lot of details, but it's just basically details. So it's I do dark silver on all these little I-beams, and then we'll do bright gold on any shell casing that's laying around. And then we wash those, and then dry brush on the silver. And then that's essentially it. Base rims, and that's essentially it for most of the bases. The Saturnine base, the Dreadnought base, is going to be a big thing because I'm going to be painting an entire tank turret and a mini on top of that. So that'll be a whole different extra step. Otherwise, we can finish almost all these bases real quick. Guys, in your opinion, what's the best Warhammer 40k video game? What is it? I would probably still say Dawn of War, even if it's older. The best 40k video game. Best what? Space Marine 2. StarCraft, alright. Shoot his blood and teeth. Yeah, that's the like side scroller, isn't it? I remember seeing that. I never played it. Wasn't there a side scroller where you played as a Space Marine? It was like a Space Marine librarian, and it was a side scroller. It was fine, yeah. The top-down dual-stick shooter that was 40k related? Okay. I mean, I've heard Rogue Trader's really good. Yeah, I've heard Bolt Gun's really good. Trader and my machine is too sad to run it. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it's the only turn-based you ever liked. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh man, I like turn-based games so much more than real-time games. But my micro always sucks, so I don't have to worry about having good micro if I can take my time. I tried to add Star Wars and Warhammer mods to Stellaris at one point because I like Stellaris. But I realized I couldn't use any of these mods that I was downloading or trying to download because I didn't know all the DLC. Do you guys know how many DLC there are for Stellaris? There's like 100. It's like $1,000 worth of DLC for that game. So I said, well, too bad. Looks like this isn't for me. Growing a space empire, as a cool Warhammer faction or something like that. It's just not meant to be. Yeah, songs is a lot more fun playing with you, Crucial. I wouldn't say the game isn't fun. It's just not like, I don't know. It just doesn't call to me. That's all. It's more like the style, the art style I think of the game, and like the lore of the game is just not my thing. I did have fun trying to recreate a pike and shot army. We have a game set up for Thursday night. Nice. Yeah, dude. Yeah, when's the demo game stream? It's gotta happen. I'm pretty sure Zen can just send you a list of like 15 different demos. He sends them to me often enough. I'm sure he's got them all. Got them all there. And boom, 10 minutes, your list is done. All right, what's the best game demo you've ever played? I had you used to get demos with like when you'd purchase PC games and stuff. Like they'd send you demos for other games from like the same publisher or developer or whatever. And so Starfire for the PS2, yeah, I love that demo. Yeah, so I had a bunch of demos for games. Yeah, the covers of magazines and cereal boxes, like you'd get demos for games everywhere, right? There were 2 demos that I love, and I played these. I ended up buying both the games, but I played these demos so much. One was for a game called Sudden Strike. There's any like historical, like World War II game fans. Sudden Strike is an RTS. It was like World War II, and you would play through different like real battles. But it was an RTS, and like you couldn't like gather resources or train troops or anything. It was just what you had was what you had. And even like ammunition was limited and everything, so like soldiers could run out of ammo just completely. And you could find ammunition stocks and stuff, but it was very specific and detailed. Incredible game. It was a ton of fun. I love that game. I ended up buying it, and it had like another disc that came as like an expansion that added a ton of like really fun missions and everything, and like it's the whole thing. Fantastic game, and that demo was amazing. Another demo that I ended up buying, and they've had like 3 or 4 games there at this point. But it was another RTS called Cossacks. And I don't know if you guys have ever played that game, Cossacks. There was like 3 or 4 of them at this point. But I had the demo for that. In the demo, you're just playing a match, and you had to play as Spain. It was a Renaissance era RTS. And the big unique gimmick about this game was the population cap for an RTS. Normally they were 200, 300, or whatever. This was based on the total map, and the total population cap was 8,000. So if you were playing one-on-one, you could each get 4,000 soldiers in your army, and it was like pike and shot. So it was like you get pikemen, and you could eventually go to like up to the 18th century, and you'd like tech up to the 18th century, and you'd start training like musketeers with bayonets on their muskets, and all this crazy, this huge like in-depth RTS. But you only played it. You played as Spain in the demo, and I remember you couldn't tech up to the 18th century. So I played this demo so much and had no idea that you could tech up. And then when I bought the game, I was like, what's this button? I clicked it, and I was like, this is a whole other game. You'd get ships with like 100 cannon on them, like big like man-of-war vessels and stuff, and you could just like bombard the enemy's base from like halfway across the map. It was incredible. Fantastic game. Yeah. You could take other people's buildings if they didn't have soldiers near it. And you could steal their peasants. The peasants are the serf units, like the workers. You would just take them, and then you just have them, and they're like your own. That's just how the game worked. The game was a lot of fun. Yeah, I ended up, I had those. I might still have copies of those games, actually. I don't know, actually, hold on one second. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, the mechanic for the game was if you had civilian buildings, so like mines or like town centers or markets or whatever, and you didn't have soldiers near them as like a quote-unquote garrison, there was like an area of effect from the soldiers. That was never like marked or whatever. It was just that there weren't any soldiers near them. And you took a military unit and you were near them, it would just change hands. It would just automatically turn to your own thing. So you could like take an enemy mine by just like killing the garrison soldiers near it, and then it would just turn to yours, and all the peasants inside would become yours, or the workers or whatever. And it was the same with just like civilian units. So you would just turn them to your side. And what was cool is when they would build buildings for you, they would build buildings from their culture. So they would build their nation's buildings, and you would get their stuff at that point. So you steal a peasant, you build a town center with that peasant, which would take like 30 minutes, which is one peasant doing it, and then you would start training their peasants. And but this was the game. So this was the first one. It was called European Wars. Yeah, the beginning of a new era. Yep, Cossacks. And it was 2 discs. Yeah, it was 2 discs, an install disc. And I had the anthology. So this is what I had. And there were 3 of them. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And they just added a bunch of stuff. But yeah, look at that. PDF manual. It's great. Yeah, so I don't know where my disc... Is disc 3 under there? No, it might be somewhere else. So I only have the first 2 discs present here. But, yeah. Loved this game so much. You can find people playing it online, and it's crazy when people, like... Yeah, you just build an army of, like, 1,000 dudes, and you throw them at the enemy. And, like, you shoot cannons, and you just kill, like, 15 guys with a cannonball or whatever. It's a really cool game. Alright, guys. We got the wash on all these bases. They're currently drying. That's cool. Next thing I'll do is a bunch of dry brushing. We'll try to finish these bases before Saturday. I'd finish them before Friday if I do anything, because I'm going out of town. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. But I will be back on tomorrow. The painting I'm doing tomorrow is our giveaway mini. So show up tomorrow, comment, say hi, let me know you're here. I'll write your name down. We'll do that 2 days in a row. All right, so you can enter both days. And Patreon members, you get 2 extra entries for just being in the Patreon. So that's what we're doing. But you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you all tomorrow at about 11 a.m. Eastern time. All right, bye everybody.